one of the local greenhouses, it's about 30 minutes away from here, is actually going out of business. The couple who owns the greenhouse is retiring, and they had all of their plants were 50% off. The stock was kind of limited, but they still had a lot of things. So what I'm going to be doing is sharing my plant haul with you. 90% of this stuff came from that greenhouse, but I had about one thing from Walmart and then 3 things that came from Lowe's a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to be sharing all of those things with you today. I got some amazing deals. The first thing that I have here is the, I don't even remember the name, so many items here, Chantilly Lace, which is a part sun, part shade plant. It's going to get about 48 inches. That's for the spacing. So the height is actually about 32 inches, but it has this, it's starting to go out of season now, so this color is kind of turned brown a little bit, but you can see the newer flowers start off really white, and I just love how it's all fluffy. So this one came from Lowe's a couple of weeks ago. The other one that I got from Lowe's is this one here, and this is called Glowing Horizons Loropetalum, and it's just this really dark red burgundy kind of color, and you can see it will get bloom is barely started, but it will get these very bright magenta blooms that kind of flow off of it. So it's a little shrub. It stays fairly small, and it can handle full sun to part shade. So I'm going to be adding this to the rose garden. I think it's just going to give a nice dark color to contrast all of the greenery that's in the rose garden. And I got this one from Lowe's a couple weeks ago as well. The price on this one was $15.98, so this is one of the most expensive items that we have out here today. And then the last one that came from Lowe's is the Variegated Lily Turf. Actually, these didn't come from Lowe's, they came from Home Depot, but same difference. So Variegated Lily Turf, and I also, let's see, this one was $7, and then I picked up one of the solid green ones from the greenhouse that's going out of business. I think this one was $4.50, so it was like $2.25. I don't really like these because I don't really like the grasses that much, but it's good to contrast some of this into the garden with the other things. So it's good to have a mix of different types of textures. And they can both handle shade. It's one of those stupid little red bugs. I hate them. And I picked up 3 of these dianthus for $2 at the greenhouse. That was the clearance price. And one is called Fire Witch. And I just love the kind of blue color that the leaves have with these really bright pink flowers. And so I did get 3 of these, and they're partially in bloom right now, so that's good because they will still have more new flowers to come. These do prefer full sun. Okay, so at Home Depot the other day, I also picked up this pack of Astable. It's just in this bag, these bulbs, I guess, in the bag. And this was on clearance, so regular price $10, but it was on clearance for $5. So I got 3 of them for $5. And then when I was at the greenhouse, they had, it's a stilby. That's what it's called, not Astable. I always say it wrong. It's a stilby. They had this one, which is Vision in pink, and it is huge. Here's the tag, so see what the flowers are going to look like. So this one's hardy between zone 4 and zone 8. So I'm in zone 7, so that's perfect. I think it doesn't have a price on it now, but I think it was $10, so I would have got that half off, so $5. Fairly large kind of shrub to fill in the space. This is a huge rose garden here that only has roses, and half the roses are on their last leg, so I'm trying to get other things to fill that space. Let's see, where are we going to go next? Variegated Solomon seal. I never heard of this until this year, and now I feel like I've been seeing it a lot, so that's kind of interesting. It can handle partial shade or full shade, and it grows 24 to 30 inches, and it's actually hardy zone 3 to zone 9, so pretty good hardiness on this one. And you can see it'll get these tiny little white flowers on it. They're already bloomed out for this season, but I just love the variegated foliage on this plant. It's supposed to spread pretty quickly, so that'll be good because, again, I have a giant, mostly empty rose garden that I'm trying to fill. Okay, let's see, what's next? Another plant that I don't really like, but again, it's good to have that grassy texture. So I didn't really get it for the blooms, I just got it for the grassy texture. And I think it was $4 or $5 was the clearance price. But this is daylily. And it's just a regular old yellow or orange daylily. But again, I just got it for that grassy texture. Okay, up next is an annual. It's one of the only annuals in this lot, actually, aside from the herbs. But it is sweet potato vine. Every year I have wanted to grow sweet potato vine because it just takes off and grows like crazy, and the deep purple leaves are just so pretty. But I'm not a fan of annuals because they don't come back every year, so I feel like I'm kind of wasting my money. But since it was on clearance, I was like, let me go ahead and get it so I can enjoy it at least once. So I did pick up one of these. I was tempted not to get the green one. I was tempted not to get so many things because the sale, I mean, 50% off is just an amazing deal. They had so much selection, but I wanted to be a little bit cautious with what I was buying because I can easily just want to buy everything. Okay, next up we have coral bells, and I just heard about coral bells this year as well, or heuchera, and I put 2 of the more dark purple ones in my shade garden, but this one is a green variegated leaf, just slight variegation to it, and it's called ruby bells. And you're supposed to plant it in sun or partial sun, and it gets to be about 16 inches tall. So just a little fun to add in there, and it's going to get bright red flowers. Up next is hollyhocks, and these get really, really tall, and grows 4 to 6 feet tall, which is kind of crazy. But they look really, really pretty. To me, they look like a mix between a rose and like a ranicula or something like that. So I can't wait to see what these come out to be. These are only $1, and I got 2 of them. And then up next we have, I'll go with this hosta. So this is a blue hosta. I have the green on the middle with the white on the outside, and I have a solid kind of medium green color. So now I have a blue one to add to the mix. And my mom is supposed to be giving me the kind that has a white in the middle. So then I should have a good variety of hostas. And this one came from Walmart, and it was just $8. Okay, so up next is going to be some herbs, and I'm planning to start an herb garden. Well, now I guess, because I have a bunch of herbs that I need to plant. This one I'm not planning to use as an herb, maybe. I'm not sure. But it is sage, and it's called Black and Blue. So that should be really pretty when it comes out. Then we have, we'll go with this one, Italian oregano. And all of the herbs I got for $2, I believe. And this one is French thyme. They weren't watering their plants very well, so this one looks dead right now, but I'm going to give it some water and it should be fine. It smells amazing. Smells really good. Then we have stevia or stevia. My husband likes this. Well, he likes to talk about it. He hasn't used it. He did eat a leaf yesterday. He actually said it was really good until he got further down, and then he said it was gross. And I was like, maybe you just chew on it a little bit and spit it out. So, but we might use that. And then we have some triple curl parsley, and this one was only like 75 cents. The little 4-packs. They didn't have many 4-pack plants available, so that's why I think this is the only one that I have. But that will be a nice addition to the herb garden. Then we have one more, which is called Santolina. which I just really love the gray kind of color of the foliage, but it gives these really pretty yellow little circle ball flowers too. A lot of people apparently don't like those, but I think they're adorable. And then we have this, which is a mystery plant. I tried to get things that could take part sun, part shade, and that had flowers. So I'm imagining that this is some sort of flower and not any kind of herb, but I don't know for sure. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. So yeah, as you can see, I got some really good deals here. I spent, if we take out the plants that I got from Home Depot, or Lowe's, Home Depot, I spent just about $100 for the rest of the plants, which is a really good deal considering most of them are normally $5 to $10 a piece. And I have one more thing that's included in that mix, which I'm going to show you right now. So like many people, we enjoy always looking at the Japanese maple trees wherever we go and we see them. And we always say, oh, they're so pretty. And up until this year, we never really considered actually purchasing one. And then as I was trying to fill this empty garden space over here, it made me think we could probably put a little tree in there, an ornamental type of tree. And I was looking at fruit trees, but the fruit trees need a lot of light. And unfortunately, the most light that area gets is right around 5 to 6 hours. So that will actually work for a Japanese maple. Some of the varieties. And if you don't have enough light, then a lot of times it will stunt their growth. And that's okay. If this one stays a little bit smaller, that will actually be perfect. So we have the Japanese maple now. The original price on this was $75, and so of course we got it half off, which was so exciting. It is, let's see if we can get this to focus here. That is the variety, Inaba Shidari, I believe. It will grow up to 7 to 12 feet tall, but apparently there's one in Japan that grew way taller than that. So we'll have to see what happens. But in this time of year, the foliage looks like this. And you can see kind of some of the leaves come out of more of a green, a brighter green color. Then they turn into this maroon color. And then in the fall, and I'm really excited to see this, but in the fall, they apparently turn to bright red. Scarlet red is what I've heard it described as. So that should be a really, really nice pop of color in the fall when the roses have mostly died back. And I'm going to have a few evergreen plants in there, but there won't be many, so it'll be nice to have something like this Japanese maple. Here are the plants that I got yesterday on the plant haul. I hope that you enjoyed watching this. I hope you saw a new variety or perennial that you may like to try in your garden. Once I get the herb garden all set up on the side of the house, of course, I'll be sharing that with you as well. And if you have any other ideas on some plants that I should try for my rose garden, leave it in the comments below.